for me? You so solemnly swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, to help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can have a seat for me right there. And you are welcome to testify in your mask, or you can take it off.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Be careful of that chair, they didn't move it. All right, Mr. Fitzmartin.
Thank you, Judge. Can you please state your name?
It's Shane Harris,
And Mr. Harris, how are you employed?
as a police officer with the city of Richardson,
How long have you been with the city of Richardson?
29 years.
And what division are you assigned to now?
Patrol.
We heard from Detective, or I guess now it's Sergeant Pagel, who is the supervisor in the patrol section at the Richardson Police Department. You do basically what she does as well, is that right?
Well, I'm an acting sergeant, so when there's not enough supervisors scheduled, then I'll be a acting sergeant. Like tonight, when I go in, I'll be an acting sergeant tonight.
Okay. But if there's a call for service 911, you would be the type of person who might come help out that person.
Yes.
All right. Back on January 31st of 2018, were you working in that capacity as well?
Yes.
And did you respond to a call for service in 777 Custer Road?
Yes.
And were you the second officer that arrived there?
Yes.
Sergeant Ray, was that the first officer that arrived?
Yes.
And after he, did it turn out to be your call though, where you generated the report and did the thrust of the investigation on this call?
Yes, it was Sergeant Ray, Officer Harsha, and myself. I was the designated call officer, so it was my responsibility to write the report.
When you arrived, what was happening on the scene when you arrived?
So Sergeant Ray arrived just prior to the ambulance, to the paramedics from Ambulance 31, and I arrived after that. I'm not sure how many minutes after that, but I contacted Sergeant Ray, and he kind of briefed me on what he had done, and then I spoke to Miss Brooks' grandson, David, and I obtained his information and interviewed him while Sergeant Ray did a walkthrough in the house. And then once I finished getting the information from David, then I went with Sergeant Ray, and he pointed out a number of things inside the house.
Did y'all find some Walmart receipts inside the house?
Yes.
And that was from January 30th?
Yes.
11:45, 11:46.
Yeah, there were two receipts, two Walmart receipts, and one was 11:45, the other was 11:46.
Did you notice anything in the kitchen about the groceries?
Yes, there were groceries that were on a flat stovetop, Walmart bags of groceries, just adjacent to her keys that were left on the countertop. The groceries matched up to what was on the receipts, and there was like refrigerated and freezer items that weren't put away, that had been left out.
Okay, so it appeared to you that someone had brought those in, left them down, and never got to the point of putting them away in the freezer or the refrigerator.
Correct.
Did you also go into all the different areas in the house and look around the different areas of the house?
Yes.
Did you find a blood pressure machine and a notepad next to it?
Yes, there was the sleeve, the blood pressure monitor. They were in the living room on a table, or the living dining room type table, and then on a desk adjacent to that, there was a pad which had days and then two columns and appeared to be like an AM and a PM column, 2 columns for each day. And the last entry was for the first column on the 30th.
Okay. Later, did you go out and look at the car outside, and was it all locked up?
Yes.
Her white car. Commissioner Approach.
Yeah.
Did you have a body worn camera that night?
Yes, I did.
I'll show you State's Exhibit number 240. Is that a copy of your body worn camera for that night?
Yes.
And then I came out and showed you some clips that I wanted to play from your body worn camera. Is that in 250?
Yes.
Did you, were there some photographs taken of the scene out there?
Yes, the crime scene came out to take photographs.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 241, 243, 44, 45, 46, 47, 248, 249, 250, 251, 252, 254, 255, 256, and 257. These all pictures taken either at the scene first or from your body worn, clips from your body.
Yes.
Judge will offer 253, the full body worn camera for record purposes. We'll offer State's Exhibit 240 for all purposes. 241 for all purposes. And then .243 through 252 for all purposes, and then 254, 255, 256, and 257 for all purposes.
Okay, let me make sure I have this.
Yeah.
I had 241 through 252 at first. And then now I have 243 through 52 for all purposes. And then I have 54, 55, and 57.
So what threw me off is I missed the 242.
Oh.
Okay? And so my numbering is just off. So 241 is a photo, and then 243 through 252 are photos from inside the house.
Okay.
And then 253 is the clips.
The body cam.
I think you said 63. Take the entire body one.
Yeah.
For record purposes.
Yeah.
Did you switch them? I thought those were 240.
Okay. It's just long page. 240 is for record purposes of the full clip.
Okay.
240, 253 are just the body worn camera clips.
Okay. So that's the one we call her.
Sorry, Judge.
Okay.
And then 254, 255, 256, and 257. 257 are photo stills from the body worn camera.
Oh, okay. So I have 240 body, entire body cam, for record only. Then I have 241 crime scene photo. Then I have 243 through 254, which are crime scene photos. And then we have 55, 56, and 57 as still photos.
And I believe 254 also there.
As a still photo, right?
Yes, sir. No objection.
All right, so all of those items will be admitted for all purposes. The only one that is not admitted for all purposes is 240. That is for record only. All others, 241 through 257, excluding 242, will be admitted for all purposes. Those are photos, and then 253 will be the body cam clips that are admitted for all purposes. Did I get that right? Did I shake my hand? Okay.
Sounds good to me, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay, when we go inside Miss Brooks's house, we're looking at 241. What are we looking at here?
Okay, that's the master bedroom, and that is her bed, the Walmart bags, and her purse.
Okay, and there was some dry goods, other purchases that are on her bed, and then the groceries are in the kitchen. Is that right?
Correct. I think there was some clothing in.
Okay, maybe
those
some baby
bags.
clothing, things like that.
Yes.
243. Are we now looking inside her kitchen?
Yes.
And these are the items that you detected should have been, some of them should have been placed away, like those eggs, maybe the waffles. You expect those to be put away in either the freezer or the refrigerator.
Yes.
You had mentioned there was a blood pressure cuff or detector machine.
Yes.
Is that in 244?
Yes.
And then you had mentioned in 240 and 245 there's a notepad talking about the dates. There you have what looks like January 29th, and then January 30th. You've got one column but not the other column.
Correct.
State's Exhibit number 246. Is this Miss Brooks, as you saw her that night?
Yes.
You notice that she's wearing a blue jacket, red scarf.
Yes.
$247. It appeared that she was wearing a wig at some point in time that had been dislodged and moved over to the side.
Yes.
248. Another piece of cloth or something maybe having to do with that wig.
Correct.
249. Feet kind of up underneath the chair.
Yes.
$250, kind of looking from the top of the chair towards her body.
Yes.
I'm seeing 251. Is that her left hand?
Yes.
And 252, her right hand.
Yes.
And then we have, and 254, some stills from your body-worn camera. It's the master bedroom.
Correct.
$255. We see, is that Sergeant Ray?
Yes.
Judge, do you mind just turning the lights off for 1 second, please? And it's not really picking up in this. We'll see it maybe in your body worn camera a little bit. You see that there's a dresser over in that back left corner there.
Are you? Yes.
Right there. Okay. 256. Your body worn camera, and you're taking note of the groceries there in the kitchen.
Yes.
And then 257, she has kind of like a little office study area. Is this that other bed? It could be a bedroom, but it could be an office study area as well.
Correct.
There's some additional things she bought from Walmart.
So at this point in time, are y'all just trying to figure out what, trying to find out what any kind of historical data you can about how Mrs. Brooks found herself in that condition?
Yeah, anything that would lead to like a timeline, like the receipts.
Is this that study area?
Yes, it appeared to be like maybe it was a bedroom that wasn't used, and I just called it a sitting room in the report. But
Okay. Are you taking us into the kitchen?
yes,
It appear like there might be some Bible study or some sort of work on the kitchen table.
yes.
Now, did you make a call to the medical examiner's office?
I did.
And is that part of the protocol that you would do when you have an unattended death like this?
Yes.
And when you make that call, what's the conversation like that you're having with the medical examiner's office?
So the ME has like several pages of questions that they ask to determine. I guess they have some kind of protocol to determine if they're going to send a body recovery team out or release the body to a funeral home. It is depends on if they're going to do, I guess, an autopsy or not.
And by the time you called in, have you already had or some of the other officers out there already tried to make contact with her primary care physician and trying to get a medical health history on her?
Yes, because sometimes the ME will want to talk to the primary doctor, so we try to do that. Her doctor was unavailable to be spoken to.
And all of this is just trying to determine what's the next steps to be done. Like you said, either does the body need to be taken in for an autopsy, can it be released to a funeral home, does it look like she died of natural causes, all of those types of determinations are trying to be made at this time.
Yes.
So when you get off, what does the medical examiner's office, did they decide to come out there or not?
No. They released the body to the funeral home.
So when you heard that, prior to you being in this position, what roles have you had at the Richardson Police Department?
Well, I started in patrol like everyone else. I became a field training officer and then an acting sergeant, and I was selected as a detective and went to investigations where I worked burglary and theft unit, auto theft, fraud, forgery, identity theft. Most of my time I spent 12 years in CID. Most of that time was as a narcotics detective. I was selected to go to HIDA, North Texas HIDA, which is it's a state, local, federal drug task force. I was out there for about 7.5 years. I worked for an FBI intelligence group and then a DEA major case squad where I was sworn in as a federal task force officer. In addition to those primary jobs, I had a secondary assignment where I was a member of the SWAT team for 10 years. And now, of course, I'm the senior officer on First Watch, which we call Deep Nights, and a drone pilot for the drone unit.
Okay. And so you have a long history of doing investigations and trying to make sure that everything is covered when you're involved in a scene.
Correct.
And so when the ME's office said they decided they're not going to send anyone out, what did you decide to do when it came to Mrs. Brooks?
I just wanted to do a thorough body exam just to make sure, like paramedics or, that nothing got missed, that if there was anything suspicious trauma to the body.
I want to show you this next clip.
I was just going to do one last look at her just to make sure I can see any suspicious wounds or anything. Can you just shine a light for me? Yeah.
And, Officer Harris, you did the last judge. And based on everything you saw that night, there wasn't anything that stood out to you that was suspicious or anything like that?
No, and Sergeant Ray and Officer Harsha, they'd both spent considerable time in CID as well. And the crime scene guy was our senior criminalist. So you probably had like 80 plus years of police experience looking at that scene, and nothing stood out to be suspicious. I think it might be important for me to say.
Well, I don't know if you can say anything about being asked a question. That's all. Here's State's Exhibit number 243. It's the groceries from the kitchen, right?
Yes.
I'll pass the witness.
Mr. Warren, any questions?
I'm sorry, just that one moment, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.